So, now that I'm level 10 and finally moving on to Baldur's Gate, I think it's time to share this build and show off its utility as I move on to the final act of the game. And my original plan was to roll monk with hand crossbows and create a gun kata maniac, but unfortunately, the important key abilities that makes that work aren't in the game. So instead, I went with a Shadow Monk build, and it's been a lot of fun because Shadow Step is turning out to be an incredibly fun ability that's useful in and out of combat. Before we start, this is your spoiler warning up to the end of Act 2. Let's start with the base of the character. Now, the only reason I'm using Drow was for the hand crossbow proficiency. Before release, we were told that a monk weapon is any weapon you have proficiency with. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't include hand crossbows. If I had known it wouldn't have worked this way, I probably would have gone with a gnome for my first playthrough, but I guess that can be my evil playthrough, which will probably be even more hilarious. Racial choice aside, the stats are as follows. Dexterity is our main stat at 20, 1 from Auntie Ethel and 2 from the Graceful Claw. Wisdom is next at 15, then Constitution at 14, Strength and Charisma at 10, and Intelligence at 8. I was originally an assassin subclass up until I made this video, but the features associated with it were very weak when applied to the game. Cutscenes lead directly to important fights, so no one gets surprised, and you'll start with your actions intact, so there's very little incentive for the two abilities that Assassin has for that. Instead, I respect into Thief for the extra bonus action, which translates into more flurry of blows attacks, which will add up damage-wise. However, the key function here is Shadow Step at level 6 Monk. It says, teleport from shadow to shadow. Afterwards, you have advantage on your next melee attack roll. We combine this with Sneak Attack from Rogue, which deals extra damage to an opponent if you have advantage against them. It says it also works if an ally is within 5 feet of the target and you don't have disadvantage. So you Shadow Step to any enemy and you get to Sneak Attack them since you'll have advantage. To prevent low damage rolls, I took the Savage Attacker feat, which says when making weapon attacks, you roll your damage dice twice and use the highest result. Since it says weapon attacks, I don't think it applies to your unarmed attacks, but since we're focusing on sneak attacks for this build, this isn't really a big deal. Now, definitely, the most important choice here is thankfully not permanent. This is your weapon choice. This is completely up to you, obviously, but my preference right now is the Sword of Lifestealing, since with a little help, we'll be getting quite a few critical hits. This is thanks to Luck of the Far Realms, an illithid power that says when you make a successful attack roll against a foe, you can change that hit into a critical hit. The helper text here fails to mention that this takes a reaction, so you can only do this for one attack in a turn and you won't be able to use your reaction until your next turn. Then on top of that, you can only use it once per long rest. The next important piece is the Flawed Helldusk Gloves. These gloves will give your weapon attacks an additional 1 to 4 fire damage, and your unarmed attacks 1 to 4 necrotic damage. We don't have to switch between gear when we attack with weapons and use Flurry of Blows, and since we're making so many attacks, the little ping damage is going to add up quite a bit in a single turn. The boots of Uninhibited Kushigo are great, but since you picked these up at the start of Act 3, I haven't had a chance to try them yet. The rest of the gear is up to you, since for the rest of my build here, it's all sustainability and utility. And that's basically it. Builds in Baldur's Gate aren't exactly complicated. You just pick something you like and then build your character around it. It's pretty fun. This character is built around Shadow Step and Sneak Attack, which is fun. We stack damage for multiple hits with Flurry of Blows, and Shadow Step to enemies to use Sneak Attack every turn or Get Away or anything. The mobility of the monk is very, very fun. After that, I play around with the various arrows and throwables to help deal with situations when they get out of control. There are quite a few weapons that I wish were better for the class they were designed for, like the Assassin's Touch. Deal necrotic damage if a creature is knocked out or sleeping. So far, if something is knocked out, the game treats them like they died anyway, so there's no point in killing them again. And if you're sleeping a target, the last thing you want to do is hit them when they wake up, and even if you did, this dagger is only going to do an extra d4 damage, so what's the point? The Poisonous Drowblade is a longsword, and the poison damage only kicks in if your target is restrained. This might be better on a Drow Ranger with a spider pet. But regardless, I like how this character feels so far, and hopefully I find some nice shiny gear that makes this build even better in Act 3. Let me know what you think of the build in the comments below with any tips or suggestions you might have. Maybe there's some gear I missed in Act 1 or 2 that would have made this build perfect. But that's about it for now, so like the video if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it, and until next time, I'm Space Coconut, and you're welcome.